The Great Wave, inspired by Hokusai. Aki and Taro had no children. They were getting old, and they had no boy or girl to bring them joy. They had tried everything, but felt that all hope was gone. By winter, the child they had so desired did not come. There were many nights of tears and sorrow. But then, suddenly, there was a miracle. It happened on an icy cold day in winter. The wind raged over the sea and threw mighty waves on the land. But the men in the village still had to go out and get fish. Winter was a hard time to get food, so if they didn't go fish, there would be even less to eat. 3 long ships set out to sea. Together, they fought the storm. They had fish to catch, no matter the cost. Then, just as they prepared to throw out their nets, an enormous wave rose up in front of them. It rose like a gigantic creature, opening its foamy mouth, swallowing up everything before it. The fishermen, the nets, the boats, everything. The men held their breath in fear, clinging to the ships, ducking down. Some even closed their eyes. When they looked out again, the wave had broken. The brave fishermen had been spared. Soon the sea became calm, and the men sighed in relief. But this calm quiet was interrupted by a small cry. Taro shouted, "Look! That wet bundle is a child! That wave has set it down in our boat?" Taro's heart beat wildly. He took the baby boy in his arms, and the child stopped crying. Taro smiled. The child he has waited and hoped for so long had arrived at last. Many happy years passed. Naoki, the boy from the sea, had a mighty appetite. He ate bowl after bowl of delicious rice, yet he did not grow any bigger. His 7th birthday was drawing near, and he'd barely grown an inch. Aki was worried. Would he always stay so small? She wondered. Taro often thought, how could he ever become a proper fisherman? But his parents were very wise and patient. Maybe their child did not want to grow. Maybe they only had to wait a little longer? Wasn't it great joy just to hold such a tiny life in their arms? Naoki waited to grow as well, while all of his friends grew upwards faster than bamboo. He often sat on the trunk of an old pine tree that stretched its branches over the water. As he sat, his thoughts drifted across the sea. His thoughts troubled him with hundreds of questions. Why am I not like the other children? Why did I not come from my mother's belly? Did a mysterious wave bring me into this world? Who is my real mother? Who is my real father? Whom should I truly love? One day, as he was sitting on his tree trunk, Naoki spotted a beautiful fish beneath him. Its scales shimmered like silver, and it swam back and forth excitedly, as if it wanted to speak. He leaned down, and the fish smiled at him. He leaned down further, and the fish called out his name. Then he leaned in as far as he could and fell headfirst into the sea. Underwater, the fish seemed enormous. Its impressive whiskers were curly and black. Its voice was strong. "Hello, Naoki. Come with me. I know who can answer your questions." Naoki swam behind him as if he too had fins. As the boy and the fish swam, the water became darker and colder. The current became stronger and stronger. Naoki clung tightly to the fish. "I thought everything was nice and calm under the sea. I thought you could collect coral, hide among the water lilies, play with starfish, and find lost treasure." But the fish could not hear Naoki's thoughts, and the two dove deeper and deeper into the dark water. Then, without warning, they plunged into a whirlpool, and Naoki panicked. He pulled at the fins of the fish. The fish reared up and swam slower, at last coming to a stop. "Where are you bringing me? I don't want to go further. I'm cold and I'm scared. Please turn around. My parents might be worried. I want to go back to them," Naoki shouted. At these words, the fish's silver scales trembled. Its body became larger and larger, sprouting mighty feet and sharp gold claws from its fins. the fish had turned into a dragon. "Hold on tight," roared the dragon. With a single blow of its tail, the dragon thrust itself out of the ocean, flying over Mount Fuji and placing the boy gently on the beach. "Goodbye, my friend," he said from a cloud above the sea. "Now go. You no longer need me." Naoki did not speak. As soon as he felt the sand beneath his feet, he began to run. He ran and ran all the way to his parents' house. When he finally reached home, Naoki turned around to thank his friend. But the dragon was gone. The sea was as smooth as glass, as if nothing had ever happened. Now it was spring, and today is Koi Nabori, a children's festival. 1,001 carp fish kites float in the wind. Naoki looks proudly at his fluttering streamers. It swims in the wind, side by side with his mother and father. All three seem carried by a great wave filled with love. Joy is everywhere, for Naoki has grown bigger. He had grown just as the fish had grown into a mighty dragon. Hokusai made the Great Wave as a part of a picture series called 36 Views of Mount Fuji.